So I've heard this from many people saying, well, there's fanatical Christians who are part of the Ku Klux Klan, and it really does stop at that "and," because the KKK is not a Christian organization, nor has it ever been. It's like positive Christianity. You know, the Christianity that Hitler and the Nazis came up with, which had nothing to do with any Christian theology, doctrine, dogmas, or beliefs. It was just a cultural heritage that needed to be scourged of all compassion, humility, belief, ritual, Judaism, anything like that. The words of Paul, in fact, even the Bible itself. Positive Christianity was just the idea of bringing back an empire that existed within the ancient confines of Christendom and setting out a globalist empire from there. And even that, it fell apart because German would be the spoken language, even though they were some of the last people to convert. Well, they were the last people of the Europeans to convert, the Nordic people. So that's silly. Not to mention that President Calles of Mexico in the 1920s, and Benito Juarez, the founder of the current Mexican government, were both honorary members of the Ku Klux Klan. And the Ku Klux Klan actually donated millions of dollars to the Mexican government in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. And the reason they did this was to destroy Christianity. The Ku Klux Klan were a group of racists trying to forward eugenics and Protestantism, which many of the Protestants in the early part of the 20th century were atheists, but they were militant, and as at that time atheists were apathetic, they were against all religions, the positive form of positive Christianity embraced eugenics and was specifically against all previous forms of Christianity and all of its doctrines and creeds. Another thing to note is that the communists, or the Ku Klux Klan, in its second incarnation, which was the deadliest one, and which was the racist one, was for communism and socialism. It really was. And it wasn't until the 50s that this turned, and actually it wasn't really until the civil rights movement that it turned. In the 50s they still were. Also, another less known fact is that the KKK actually targeted Catholics primarily, then black people, but there was a period of time of 30 years where it went Catholics and then Italians, Italian Americans, and Italian immigrants, even though Italians were Catholics, and then black people. In Louisiana and Mississippi, Italians were paid less than American black people for a 50-year period. So these are some things that aren't taught in history.